Welcome along.
No problem at all. Thanks for having us.
Another tasting session, which is always nervy for myself to do it in front of someone. Although I just want total transparency, that I just want your honest thoughts, no matter if it's good, bad, or ugly.
No, sure, no problem at all, Kevin. No, thanks. Like I say, thanks for having us do it. The beer arrived yesterday, so yeah, it's been waiting for today. So, no, looking forward to giving it a taste and letting you know what we think. So yeah,
it's a good day today for trying it. So
yeah, it's really good. Yeah, just out in the garden now, enjoying it. You know, I think you have to when you're in England and it is sunny, you have to kind of make the most of it. So but yeah, no, like yeah, it's definitely a good day for doing this for sure. Yeah.
So what's your first impressions when I approached you to try our drink?
No, I was happy to. I mean, to be honest, nowadays I don't really drink too much at all. Yeah, I do enjoy, the odd ale occasionally. But yeah, I'd seen a few of your, other tasting sessions that you've done, and it looked it's always good to sort of try and help somebody who's, launching a new product as well, because I think it's important to, sort of provide valuable feedback, and I think any feedback given is constructive. So no, we're always happy to help people like that who approach you and want to come. So yeah, no problem at all.
So I did a bit of research. I saw you are in the food industry. Is it with poultry, and that you work with like collaborations and partnerships in that space?
Yeah.
How did you get into that? Or
yeah, I mean, with regards to food, I mean, the journey had really started for me sort of when I was sort of 16 years old, when I needed to go to college in Norwich, and my dad forced me to get a job in a chicken factory to pay for the bus, basically. So, but no, I mean, from there, I mean that those kind of roles kind of led to sort of sales roles, and sort of roles where I could work with, sort of suppliers, customers, etc. And it was something I really enjoyed. So at the start of this year, I started up my own setup within the food industry called Poultry Service, and that involves just working with suppliers, customers, just basically trying to sort of provide help and support, and try and make their lives easier when it comes to trying to source products, if they need any advice on the with regards to what's happening, because it is challenging times in the industry at the minute, particularly with some of the conditions we're currently in. Yeah, that was the background really. And no, like I say, again, it's something I always enjoy doing. It's good to kind of try and sort of provide a service that gives value to others, and like I say, I think everybody wants to sort of try and work with people who can sort of make their lives a bit easier in some way, and if that's something that myself and my setup can do through expertise, then I'm pleased to do that. It's really rewarding to do that. So, and I think if you can do a good job, then I think the success and the journey and everything just takes care of itself. So yeah, it's good to be able to try and help people, if I can within our industry. So.
And I also seen you're the chairman of Canaries Trust.
Vice chairman, yeah. I was really lucky to have that role. I became a board member in 2017. Obviously, yeah, I'm a big Norwich fan. And I think, I was a big believer in, supporters, not just of our club, but any club really. It's important for the supporters to be able to kind of have a voice in terms of, the way the club is run, and, and have a channel to be able to kind of communicate views to the club through a supporters trust. We're currently the 11th largest shareholder in Norwich City on behalf of the fans. We raise money to purchase shares through various initiatives, mainly our membership, but we also run other initiatives such as various competitions throughout the year, and there's also other sort of off branches of that as well. So we do a lot of work with Norwich Food Bank, with my colleagues David and Nick do a fantastic job with our mental health initiative.
With the mental health side, do you find, because football's, especially fans, love drinking, do you find alcohol is a big player in the fans' contribution?
I think it can be, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think, like I say, I mean, I'm not a big drinker myself, but you do. I think when you're out and about before the game, obviously, I know fans like to get, and again, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it's important that, prior to football games that, fans are able to kind of, be responsible for the amount of alcohol they do intake, because it can ultimately cause problems, but yeah, I think just as long as fans are responsible and have a good time, then, that's the main thing.
Do you think clubs like Norwich offer enough options for like lower or no alcohol options for those who are either driving or are restricting on their alcohol intake?
It's a good question. I mean, I think there's always there are options there, but I think that there can always be more, and I think, a lot of people, like we say, a lot of people do like to sort of meet before the games and have a drink, and that's fine. I think it's sort of part of our, culture here in England as well to do that. But like you say as well, a lot of people do travel to the games and drive, or have a long journey. So I think it's important to have a range of 0 to low alcohol options at games, just so people can enjoy a drink as well if they want one. I think it all comes down to that, being inclusive, of what people kind of want at a football game. And I think, yeah, the more options on 0 alcohol drinks or low alcohol drinks, and the more choice people have got, the better, really. So I think there's always room for for things like that. And yeah, I'd love to see a club like Norwich and all clubs really kind of try and promote that a bit more, because it does give people a more of a choice on match day, without sort of, if you go to a match and don't have a drink, sometimes you might not be able to kind of feel that included. If to have options for everybody, I think Norwich can do a lot more on that side, as can other clubs, really.
Oh, do you want to crack the bottle open and give it a try?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got it here. No, it's really good. I love the label. It's really nice and clear.
It's a bit lively.
Bit of a fizz there. That's probably me, actually. So I'm honest for that. Yeah, I'll just yeah. So yeah, like I say, it's a nice bit of sparkle there. We'll give it a try. Yeah, it's really nice, Kevin. Really fruity. I think it's certainly a good number for certainly for a day like today, really. I think when the weather's nice and it's coming towards the end of the day, and you maybe sort of fancy something that's a bit refreshing and a bit a bit light and low alcohol, I think this is ideal. It tastes really good.
Is there anything particular you get from it in taste of like smell?
There's a nice
flavor?
fruity kick. Yeah, it's a nice fruity sort of kick and aftertaste to it, which personally I like.
Is it what you expected from knowing or hearing what others are saying?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit fizzier than what I expected. But then in saying that, it has got a nice taste to it as well. When you sort of have a drink and then you kind of get that nice sort of aftertaste. It's quite fruity, and you can really taste that, which is good, I think. And yeah, like I say, with it being low alcohol, it's a good drink to have maybe sort of at the end of a working day, or if you're out on a lunch break or something like that. I think it's I certainly think it's good. But no, it tastes good. No, I think a drink like this is really good.
Oh, and I'm going to test something with you. So a TripAdvisor, okay. we in the food industry, we're reliant on the TripAdvisor. So if this was a TripAdvisor, what rating would you give us out of 5? And could you give me like a headline you would write if you were reviewing the drink?
Yeah, I don't use TripAdvisor that much, to be honest, Kevin. So, but no, it's yeah. No, I'd certainly go top end. I mean, I'd probably say a 5. Why not? You know, it's good. You know, I think there's certain drinks you can take and you can taste and you're instantly put off. Whereas this, you know, I think it's, um, I'd say that the headline word I'd probably say is refreshing. I'd have thought, you know, because it's nice to kind of, you know, like I say, especially on a hot day, I think have something like this. So I'd probably say a nice refreshing number. And I think a lot of people would enjoy it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone's got their own preferences, I know, but no. Speaking from personal tasting, just there, I think it's really enjoyable.
Cool. Also, a couple of little other things I would like to try out is 3 questions. Why do you think? Why do you think it's right to connect with the right people, with in terms of collaborations and partnerships?
Well, in terms of what? Sorry, Kevin.
In general, why is it right to connect with the right people? Is it on your LinkedIn? You mentioned that you're about collabs and partnerships. Is there a reason why it's ideal?
No, I mean, you know, it's just nice to. I think, like I said before, it's nice to kind of be there to, you know, offer advice and expertise and a helping hand to those companies that need it. You know, and I think, you know, everybody's different. I think it's good to kind of work with people who are open to that, if you like, and want to kind of work for the benefit of every party within a, you know, say for example, if we're doing a, you know, working on a project within food and we're looking for a product and, you know, you have an end customer for that product, then I think as part of making something work, everybody has to benefit, you know, right through from farmers to producer to transporters to you know, to importers to final customers, if you like. I think it's important that everybody benefits from something like that rather than one of the sections. But yeah, I think, you know, collaborating with people, I think it's important, and one as well, because you get to learn from others. I think the more people you can kind of, you know, sort of work with and help and speak to, I think the more, you know, it's a big world and there's always opportunities to learn stuff. And I think, you know, the more people you work with, the better, really, in terms of learning and learning of ways to help people. So yeah, I think that's what it's all about, you know, in terms of trying to work with people and help people in that particular area. So
Also, like, how plausible do you have to be taken serious by other people?
I think I think all it's quite simple, really. I think you just have to be genuine and authentic, you know, and just kind of, you know, just be yourself. Try not to kind of, you know, sort of be anything that you're not really, you know. Just be a human, really, you know, and be able to kind of relate to people. And, you know, I mean, I find a lot of the customers I work with, I'm really lucky to work with because, you know, I think that they like working with me because they've got a person who they speak to. It's not sort of some, you know, somebody without any kind of emotion or empathy towards, you know, the way they work. You know, I think it's sort of understanding, you know, the way they work, what they want to achieve out of certain things. And I think it's just generally just being yourself, and always have an ear open to learn as well. You know, I think, you know, I think if you ever get in a position where I think, you know, you know it all, I think that's false, because I think you can always learn no matter where you're at in your career, you know. So I think it's important just to be authentic and be as open as you can, and be eager to learn and respect those who you work with. So
What alternative ways is there to create a great partnership or collab, do you think?
What, in terms of meeting people, do you mean, or
just the way to build that relationship? What great alternative ways are there, do you think, people could?
I think, yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is having an aligned set of values. I think is the main thing. You know, I think it's important to, you know, yeah, I mean, we want to help as many people as you can, but it's certainly easier when, you know, the sets of values are aligned, if you like. You know, there's I think a collaboration, I see it is just being able to help in any way that you can, if people are looking for that help within their industry. So, I think, there's several ways of doing that, whether it's kind of meeting at a show, meeting through other contacts, meeting online. I think if you do a good job for for some clients, I think your word and your reputation kind of gets out there into the industry, if you like. So again, I think it's just doing the best you can with those that you work with, and I think opportunities do sort of naturally grow from that. But yeah, I certainly think it's certainly easier, I think, if you have a aligned set of values with those who you're working with, and I think that goes back to my previous point where every kind of party in a transaction has to benefit, and I think that's the best way to work personally. So everybody's got their own ways, and and it's a free world. But yeah, I think that's the most important, in my opinion.
So with my drink, do you think I'm hitting the right marks on what I'm doing, or is there anything you think I need to be aware of, or?
No, it's like I say, it's only my personal opinion, Kevin. I think it certainly looks a good. I think when you get the drink, it does look a very good product. It's very well presentable. It's a nice bottle, it's a nice label, and I think the first view is everything, really. I think it's like when you go to a website of somebody's product, for example, like the first impressions are so important, because then it gets people engaged and it gets people sort of wanting to learn more, if you like. So I think like when you first see the product, it looks really good. So that's a good point. And I certainly think if you kind of get out there and try and get its name out as much as you can through things like this, and advertising, and to whatever your budget is, I don't think you'll go far wrong. I think there's certainly a market for more drinks like this, which are certainly low alcohol, because I think there is a great load of people who maybe at the end of a working day, or maybe for a lunch break, would like to go and have a nice beer, and kind of with it being low alcohol, it's a good option, whereas like if you've got to go out and have something and then maybe drive back to an office or a location, there's certainly more of a market, I think, for things, for drinks like this, and you don't really see, I think, I think whenever you go in pubs, there isn't a great deal of alternative low alcohol drinks. I think you get your usual ones, don't you? I think you get like your Guinness 0%, and all those ones, but like to have something new, and I think it's a really good product. I think you should be really proud of it, and I think you can't go wrong, I think, but by getting the word out there. I'm sure lots of people will like it if they're presented with a chance to try it. So
That's cool. I'm really enjoying this series of talking to people, just trying to get feedback in a different way, instead of me just sending the bottles out and just getting just words on paper or on the screen. It's quite interesting to see them face to face trying it and hearing maybe all their initial reaction. It's just been very intriguing seeing parts.
It's a really good idea, because I think, like you say, a lot of people, don't. I think when they're launching a product, you don't see a lot of this go on, and I think it's a good idea, how you've done, sort of contacting various people and sending out samples and doing some live tastings online. It's a good idea, and I think I know you touched on it there, Kevin, as well, but I think sort of being able to provide an honest opinion to your target market, the demographic you're looking at, I think is invaluable as well, because I think if it kind of gives more gives more authenticity to the product, if you like, because you're getting good honest reviews, and
also it's coming from
excellent
people
content to put out there.
It's also coming from people who are well regarded in certain industries. So for example, you're from the food background, so you've got a great industry background. Also, your connection with Norwich City and the Canaries Trust and that mental health. So the way I see it is you give it a plausible, like an honest credibility to the product. If you're saying you like it, that's amazing for me because I can revert back to your review, say Chris liked it or Zed liked it or that. And even if it was negative, it
Yeah,
gives me a chance to go away and take it on board. And
absolutely.
so,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in, you know, no type of feedback is every bit of feedback you get is useful, you know, whether it's good, whether it's indifferent, you know, because even like indifferent feedback or some might say negative feedback, you know, that can be useful because, you know, if you don't get that feedback, you're never going to like learn of things to do differently or maybe things you can tweak or whatever. So any feedback I think you get from anybody regarding anything can be used in a positive way, you know, and I think you know it's good to have any type of feedback, and I think you'll certainly gain that from doing things like this for sure.
perfect. Thank you very much for trying it today.
No, well, thanks for thinking of us and contacting us. And no, certainly we've got the other bottle indoors, which I think my wife's already put her name to. So she'll probably be out here in a bit, sort of having that as well. So yeah, but no, it's a really good drink, Evan. Yeah, I think lots of people would really enjoy it if they got a chance to taste it. So no, great, that's great stuff, and you should be really proud of it. And good luck with getting it out there.
And what I do for you, as I do with everyone who does this, I will give you a discount code. So it'll be CN22, where any of your connections, family or friends, can get it for 22%
Yeah.
off. So just little thank you as
Okay.
well.
Thanks very much. But yeah, appreciate that. No, it's really
Have
kind
great.
of you. Yeah. No, brilliant. Thanks.
Enjoy the sun and the rest
I
of the
will,
beer.
yeah. It's good to enjoy it while it lasts. So yeah, yeah. And like I say, Kevin, if there's anything, no matter how small, I can ever do to help, then you know, feel free, just let us know. And if there's anything, you know, anything at all, the DMs are always open. So yeah, feel free.
Cool, cheers. And hopefully the Canaries will go up next year.
Yeah, I hope, well, it'll be difficult. You know, I think I don't know it breaks your heart to say it, but you know, you look at the club now compared to where it was a year ago, and I think it's gone majorly downhill. I mean, the football, we've all seen the football, and it's been dreadful, quite frankly. You know, we haven't hardly competed at all this year, and but I think the hardest thing for me, and I was saying to a friend yesterday actually, is that you look at us now, we've got no identity. You know, even before, like last season in the Championship, we were passing teams to death at that level. We shouldn't have let Buendia go. That was a big mistake, I felt. I know people sort of say that he wanted to go, and we don't know, you know, we're not inside the club, so we don't know the whole story. But then, you know, Harry Kane wanted to leave Tottenham, for example, and they pulled all the stops out to keep him. I think when you go up, you have to keep your best players, you know, and if not, replace them. And we haven't done that. And it's and also losing. I mean, Skip was with us on loan, and he was instrumental last year in obviously keeping everyone organised at the back and providing that protection to the defence. And we've lost that also, you know, and it's just been difficult. But yeah, I think ever since the start of the season, it's just slowly disintegrated, and we haven't. There's ways of losing games, but we just don't compete. And you know, and the hardest thing for me is we just seem to have lost our identity. You know, there's a disconnect between the team and the fans. You know, you look at last year, that wasn't there. You know, there was always a close bond between, you know, the squad that we had and the supporters, and that's important at any football club to have. And but yeah, I mean, with all due respect to the Championship, I don't think it's a particularly great league. You know, I think it's more of a, you know, there's a lot of games, it's more of a slog, but it's difficult in that sense, you know, and I think we've got to be prepared for it. And but hopefully, yeah, we can have a sort through the squad. Hopefully Dean Smith can get a bit of backing and get some of his own players in, and we can give it a good go. But it'll be difficult. Yeah, you know, I think we need to get back to having an identity first and foremost, and getting that connection back with the fans, because, you know, if that connection isn't there, it makes it difficult. You know, the fans can't really relate to the players, and the players to the fans, and it just you know, we need Carrow Road rocking, especially at home games. That's our fortress, and hasn't been the case. It's just been so flat. And but that's football. I think when you look through the entire history of Norwich City, we've always been, you know, a kind of an up and down team, you know, where there's been promotions, relegations, and things always change. You know, it's not forever, and hopefully we can just get our eggs straight and have another good go.
Yeah, you'll bounce back. Right, have a great
I hope so.
evening.
Yeah, we deserve it. Yeah. Yeah. You
Cheers,
too, mate. All the
mate.
best. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Kevin. Lovely
Bye.
to speak to you. Yeah. Cheers. Bye.